US President Donald Trump has already taken to social media to announce the complete reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, even thanking Iran in his post. After the first round of peace talks between the United States and Iran in Islamabad collapsed, both sides are now preparing for a second round of negotiations. One of the biggest obstacles so far has been the ongoing conflict involving Lebanon and Israel. The situation escalated when joint US-Israeli forces launched strikes on Iran. Soon after, Israel, under Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, found itself in a separate conflict with Lebanon. Hezbollah, the Iran-backed militant group based in Lebanon, began launching attacks in response to what it described as US and Israeli aggression against Iran, as well as the reported assassination of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. In retaliation, Netanyahu ordered a series of strikes targeting Hezbollah positions in Lebanon. The violence resulted in the deaths of more than 100 civilians, further intensifying tensions across the region. Amid growing international concern, President Trump announced a ceasefire on Thursday. He said he had spoken directly with Lebanese President Joseph Aoun and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, and that both leaders agreed to a 10-day pause in hostilities. Trump also revealed plans to bring the two leaders together at the White House in an effort to stabilize the situation and reopen diplomatic channels. In his post, he noted that representatives from Israel and Lebanon had already met in Washington earlier in the week, the first such meeting in 34 years, and also held talks with Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He added that Vice President J.D. Vance and Rubio have been tasked with working closely with both countries to push toward a lasting peace agreement. On Friday, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araqi confirmed on X, formerly Twitter, that a ceasefire is now in place in Lebanon. He also stated that, for the duration of the ceasefire, commercial ships would be allowed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's Ports and Maritime Organization has already designated specific routes for safe transit. Shortly afterward, Trump posted again, saying, "Iran has just announced that the Strait of Hormuz has been fully reopened. It is now ready for maritime traffic. Thank you." The ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon appears to be part of a broader diplomatic effort led by Trump to ease tensions with Iran. Tehran had made it clear from the beginning that any negotiations with the US would depend on a ceasefire in Lebanon. Now that condition has been met, Iran seems willing to move forward. This raises a critical question. Are the US and Iran finally on the path toward a deal? According to Trump, a final agreement to end the conflict could be signed very soon. He even mentioned that he might personally travel to Islamabad to finalize the deal. This optimism appears to be linked to Iran's recent announcement about the Strait of Hormuz. Trump has long insisted that the strait must remain open and free for global navigation, rejecting any attempt by Iran to control it exclusively. Now that Iran has announced it is reopening the strait, at least temporarily, many believe the situation is more favorable for diplomacy. However, tensions remain. Trump claimed that Iran had agreed to hand over its stockpile of enriched uranium to the United States. Iran quickly denied this. Sources close to Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf stated that no such discussions ever took place. Meanwhile, Iran's state broadcaster, Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting, dismissed Trump's statements as delusional fantasies. Amid these conflicting claims, Iran's decision regarding the Strait of Hormuz became a major turning point. Trump later confirmed the development. For a long time, the conflict between Lebanon and Israel had been a major obstacle to broader peace efforts in the region. Now, some analysts believe that a US-Iran understanding could help ease that tension. Trump also stated that he has helped end 9 global conflicts so far, adding that the situation between Israel and Lebanon could become the 10th. He further claimed credit for de-escalating tensions between India and Pakistan following Operation Sindoor last year. While Pakistan acknowledged this claim, the Indian government has consistently maintained that the ceasefire resulted from direct military-level talks. Despite diplomatic progress, a serious incident has raised fresh concerns. On April 18th, Iranian forces opened fire on 2 Indian vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. India responded strongly, summoning Iran's envoy, Mohammad Fathali, to lodge a formal protest. The vessels targeted were Jag Arnav and Sanmar Herald. The attack has once again highlighted security risks in this critical shipping route. The Indian Navy is currently gathering more information, as it does not have warships stationed directly inside the strait, though it maintains a presence in Oman with multiple naval assets. Indian officials emphasized that the firing, reportedly carried out by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, is being taken very seriously. India also reiterated its firm position in favor of free and uninterrupted navigation through the Strait of Hormuz. Another Indian oil tanker was nearby during the incident, but was not affected. The Strait of Hormuz, located between Iran and Oman, is one of the most important oil transit routes in the world, carrying nearly 20% of global crude oil supplies. India, heavily dependent on energy imports from the Gulf, relies significantly on this route. However, the situation has shifted again. Iran has now reimposed restrictions on the strait, claiming that the United States violated prior understandings and continues to block Iranian shipping. Citing disruptions at its ports, Iran announced it would tighten control over the waterway. The United States, on the other hand, has stated that it will continue detaining Iranian vessels. In response, Iran's Joint Military Command declared that full control over the Strait of Hormuz has been restored to its forces, signaling a renewed escalation in tensions.